Lesson 98 talks about graphing and finding the distance between 2 points and finding the slope of a line. So it uses the Pythagorean theorem that we talked about in class today. So if it asked you to find the distance between the points 4, 2 and -3, -2, here's how you would do that. First, you would need to graph those points. So the first point would be 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So the first point would be right here. That's 4, 2. The second point would be -3, 1, 2, 3, and -2, 1, 2. The second point would be right here. And it asks us to find the distance between those 2 points. So the way we do that is we need to draw a triangle. And then we want to make the distance between the points. We're going to draw a line between them. And we're going to make that the hypotenuse. If you remember, that's the long side of a right triangle. So we need to draw a straight line coming down here and a straight line coming this way so that we make a right triangle. And then we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem that says this a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This would be side A, this would be side B, and the hypotenuse, the long side, is always side C. And in this case, it's the distance between these 2 points. So this line of the triangle is the distance between those 2 points and is what we're trying to find. So we know what A is because we know our point goes from -3 on over to 4. So that's 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the length of this side is 7. And now we can also know the length of B, because we know it starts up here at 2 and goes down to -2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the length of this side is 4. So now we just need to plug that into our formula. This is A, so we say 7 squared plus B is 4 plus 4 squared equals C squared. C is what we're trying to find out. 7 squared is 49. 4 squared is 16. So 49 plus 16 equals C squared. 49 plus 16 is 65. 65 equals C squared. Like we talked about in class, all we need to do is, since this is not a perfect square, we can just say that C equals the square root of 65. We just take the square root of each of these sides. We don't have to do the plus or minus the square root of 65 in this case, because it's not going to be a negative length. So in this case, we can simply say the square root of 65. So the distance between points 4, 2 and -3, -2 is the square root of 65. And that's your answer. So I'm going to do one more just to show you. If we have the distance between the points 3 and -4 and -5, 2. Again, we draw our graph and plot our first one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the negative side, that first point is right here. The second point is -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2, 1, 2. So our second point is right here. We want to find the distance of these points. So we want to make this the hypotenuse. So we draw our line. And now we draw our straight sides. We're going to take this one straight up through here. That's not a very straight line. And this one straight across here. So now the hypotenuse is the one that is always equal to C. And then we can label these other 2 sides A and B. It really doesn't matter which one is A and which is B, but it really matters that the hypotenuse always has to be C. So now, what is this distance? Oh, we're going to rewrite A squared plus B squared equals C squared, the Pythagorean theorem. So what is this distance of A? A is 6 because it goes from 2 up here down to -4 down here. So that's 6 spaces. So A would be 6, and we're going to square that. B is 8 because it starts here at -4 and goes over, it starts here at 3, -5, and goes over here to 3. That's 8 spaces in there. This is -5, and this is 3. So it would be 6 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. is 36 plus 64 equals c squared. 100 equals c squared. Now this time we do have a perfect square. So we're going to take the square root of each side to find our answer, which leaves us the square root of 100 is 10, and then equals c. So the hypotenuse is 10. The distance between these 2 points is 10. The other thing, so then you're done. The other thing in this chapter asks you to find the slope of 2 points, the slope of the line that passes through 2 points. That one, I think we did this already, but I'll show you very quickly how to do that. If it says find the slope of the line that passes through -3, 4, and 5, -2. You actually don't even need to draw the line to figure this out. You just have to remember that the slope equals the rise over the run. That just means the slope of the line tells us for every amount that it goes up, it goes over this amount, the rise over the run. And the way you find that is you simply look at the y's. Rise and y's rhymes, so that helps me remember that. You find the difference of the y's, so I'm going to say y1 minus y2. And you put that over the difference of the x's. So I'm going to say x1 minus x2. Okay, so we have 4 minus -2. 4 minus -2 is 6. And then we have -3 minus 5, which is -8. So the slope of this line, we have to reduce that, because this fraction, you can't leave it like this because it can be simplified. So we are gonna reduce it to -3/4. And that's how you find the slope of the line. That would be the slope of the line.